In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. This true novel took place in Holcomb, Kansas with the Clutter family, which was a family of 6. Only 4 of them lived at home because the 2 eldest children had left the house. In Cold Blood is a story about the murder of the Clutter family and the murders done by Perry Smith and Richard Hickok, also known as Dick Hickok, and the whole story is telling about Alvin Dewey, the detective, trying to find the murders and trying to find who killed the Clutter family and why. We find that the story goes between the Clutter family and the criminals along with their motives. We learn what the criminals are doing, and we learn that they killed the Clutter family because they thought they were going to get a lot of money, but then they find out that the Clutters didn't have that much money. The murder happens early in the book, so throughout the book you know that the family is already dead, but the detective is trying to find out why. In the end of the book, the person who told Dick about the Clutter family finds out that the family has been murdered, so he thinks that Dick and Perry did it. He tells officials and they find Dick and Perry, and they get put on trial. Capote is suspected of changing a lot of the facts and details to make the book better. He interviewed a couple of people who lived in the area, and they said a lot of the things in the book weren't like that at all. Dick and Perry may seem alike on the outside, but they aren't. The author makes them look like good people. Perry really changes as you read more. You learn more about him, and it's interesting how in the beginning of the book, when the Clutters died, you want them to find the killers and have them pay for their consequences, but eventually, as you get to know them, you feel unsure if they should go to jail or die. A good part about the book is that you know it's coming, but you don't know when. When you're reading this, you will question if this is true, because it's all from memory. Capote could have mixed things up easily.
My name is Araba Ferreira. I'm interviewing from New High Park Memorial High School, and I'm here today with Dr. Alcazar. Hi. So how long have you been working on this?
Well, I've been working on this for around 15 years, and you really say that I love my job. It is such an amazing job.
So when we think about psychology, what should we really be thinking?
When you think about the word psychology, the first words we or you people come up with is crazy, health, attention problems. But psychology is not really about that at all. Psychology is a broad discipline that covers a number of topics such as memory, personality, child development, mental illness, and social relationships.
So can we take psychological information from a book?
Sure we can. We can say psychological information for a person by just looking at the person. We can say psychological information from a sentence, and we can even say psychological information for just a simple act, and even more if the book is real book, real story.
Okay. So Dr. Alcazar, going to the point, have you ever read a book in Cold Blood?
Of course I have. And I've been enjoying every single word of that book. There's thousands of evidence that can prove us that they weren't okay. They needed help, and the reason why they did what they did.
Okay, so let's get into this. What was Perry and Dick so similar about what they wanted and how they wanted it?
I think that when you find a person with the same kind of thinking as you feel connected to the person. You feel that she or he is the only person that understands you, and you only wanted to start a friendship with that person. But even deeper, they were in jail, where it was hard for them to trust on someone, and they found trust on each other, which made them feel like brothers.
Okay, so going deeper on this, why Perry decided to follow Dick to make a big goal in Kansas, and why would they want to do this if they didn't even know the family?
You can see a great definition of I'm gonna do this because my friends do it. Perry wanted just to get rid of life problems. He only wanted to be relaxed in one spot without being worried or scared of what's coming next.
Quick question. So, you think the accident that happened to them many years before affected them mentally in addition to physically?
When you have an accident and that accident affects you physically, you don't feel the same. You feel like you don't work there anymore. You feel like your body is incomplete and you are missing something. It is very hard for us to deal with a physical malinterpretation of who we are.
Okay, so was Floyd Wells the reason of this massacre, and how he took place in all this?
Well, of course, it was the reason of this massacre. Told Dick about the money Mr. Clutter had. So as a person with mental illness, Dick said, "This is it. This is my opportunity to escape far away from here." Because that's what a person with those kind of illness does. They commit the crime and they run away without facing the problem. He also didn't realize that Floyd was saying that just to take revenge over Mr. Clutter.
When they went inside of the house and they didn't find anyone, why they had to kill them instead of just let them live and stay?
You know, we can look this as a lie situation. Let's see. They found out that Floyd was lying about the money, as we can read in the book. Now, if we take a look on how Perry reacted to that, he took the mother to the bed and the father to the basement. Why? Because he didn't want them to watch while they were killing them, so he decided to take them separate, so the mother didn't have to watch how they were killing her husband and how they were killing their kids.
Why a shot in the head and not a shot in the legs or some other place of the body?
They weren't killers. They became murderers that night. That night they became murdered. You might think that when a person is doing those kind of things for the first time, you might think that they have some mercy. But not really. When you already have mental illness such as low self-esteem and loss of prosperity and hope. The key here is that Perry took them apart and Dick shot them right in the head, because that way it's easier to die. You don't feel nothing, you just die instantly. Basically, they don't want them to feel the pain. That shows us the possibility they had to fix their lives, but they just made them worse.
Almost done, okay? Why did Perry lie about the last two shots? Why did he say it was him when it wasn't?
The love and respect Perry had for Dick was bigger than the money. The love and respect Perry had for Dick was bigger than every single thing they were thinking of. Because they went to jail on him. The word loyalty for Perry was just bigger than everything. That's a big fact of how Perry took that very personal. He was making sure that no one will feel the same way as he was feeling, with pain and fall inside of him.
Thank you, Mr. Alcazar, for
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts and your experience.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. And I hope I can see you guys later.